Ferrari, and I'm Dimitri James, and I'm going to show you how to do makeup for, am I allowed to say over 40?
If you
We're going to do some over 40 makeup. I'm going to start with when you use foundations, and you're not 25, what you have to be really careful of is foundations that cake or crease. So you need to look for makeups that are specifically designed to float over little imperfections and little dry lines instead of settling into them and caking into them. It's really important, girls, because there's nothing worse. How many times have you ever looked like you're driving for lunch and you look in your rear view mirror in the car and you see your face halfway through the day and you're like, oh my God, where are you? What did you do with me? That's not how you started out in the morning, right? So you got to be really careful with the makeups you choose. And when you use foundation, you want to be sure that you apply it with a brush that is not a natural hair bristle. You want to apply it with a brush that is a synthetic bristle because it applies makeup smoother. It's really important. And we're going to apply the makeup, we're going to go down on the pores. Now, when you do, it's also really important when you're doing makeup and you want to look younger and not more mature. What you want to be sure is also that you're using a primer. But I chose a foundation as a primer, a foundation, a powder in one step. But when you use traditional makeups, always prime first. It's important because it evens out the canvas. It's also, and I know you've heard that as you get older, you don't want to wear powders. So what I recommend instead, because sometimes a little bit still soft focuses and looks nice, I'm using a cotton and mineral makeup. That's what you want to use. Mineral makeups have a finer finish and they do better with mature skins. So I'm going to apply just a really fine coat of mineral makeup over the other foundation, and it just gives me a nice glow. I prefer to layer the makeups, the mineral over the traditional foundation because I think it's better on a mature skin than applying minerals directly to the skin unless you prime first. So we're going to start with the eyes. Now, here's the thing with over 40 eyes. As we age, the sharpness in the shape of our eye fades because the skin becomes a little looser, and so you lose that sharp shape to your eye. So what you want to focus on is defining the shape of the eye and softening up the shadows and softening up the color of the lids. And let me show you how I like to do that. What I'm going to do is we're going to first apply shadow to her lids, and we're going to begin with a very neutral base. And I'm going to use this taupe. Right? I'm just going to use a taupe, and it's matte. And matte shadows tend to do better on, again, more mature eyes. And we're going to highlight under her brow bone, and that's also going to lift. So at first I apply this beautiful taupe. Now, isn't that gorgeous? And then we're going to apply a little bit of highlight color with just the tiniest bit of reflective pearl in it, because a little bit under the brow, like so, and just a little bit on the center of the eye and across the lash line brightens up an eye. See that? Isn't that pretty already? Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of a contour brush, and I'm going to apply just a little bit of a burgundy just through the ridge of her eye, but I'm not pulling it down to the corner. I'm only doing the orbital ridge. So I'm taking the angle brush and we're basically just following the shape of her eye to just give her a little bit of definition. And by not going down like this with the contour color, we're not dragging the corner of her eye down, we're keeping everything up. So we're applying it just like so, and up and out. Just like that. Can you all see that? See how I'm applying it right in the ridge, and I'm following the ridge and going out, just like so? All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to line her eye. This is important because many women shy away from eyeliners, but an eyeliner is really how we're going to define your eye. So I'm choosing a liner that is a rollout, that is self-sharpening, and it's very soft. And what I'm going to do is we're going to line close to her lash line. And we're going to use a black. And I'm going to line her whole eye. Open. So I'm lining all the way into her inner corner. And don't worry if you don't get it perfect in the first application. You can go back and buff these. Right? So we're going to close our eyes. All right, now open. See what I've done? All right. And then we're going to line just a little bit underneath. Again, a thinner line. And we're going to really try to... I just followed her lash line and I went very thin underneath because you don't want a lot of lower liner. Then I'm going to go back with the a small brush, right? And we're just going to blend that eyeshadow in. I'm sorry, that eyeliner in. I'm just going to blend it with a very fine tapered brush. This also looks good on blondes using a beige eyeshadow, like a tan, and a little bit of highlighter, and then using an indigo blue or a soft gray blue liner works really well as well if you're very fair complected. Now open. All right. I'll look up in that corner. I'm going to blend the underneath part. So I'm just trying to make it look like it's just a little bit of her own lash line and not necessarily like we lined underneath, right?